The following video was captured by a tourist and his partner who were visiting the infamous Aokigahara forest in Japan, where many poor souls have gone onto their last journey. As sad as this is, there are of course numerous ghost stories about those that never really left our physical plane and are stuck in this forest. The two were part of a tour group, and as they are documenting a certain incline, they might have captured something eerie. As the man is moving around with the camera, he might have captured a shadow figure that was staring at the group, and it seems as if it was standing behind a headstone or a piece of a shrine. They are sure that this was no ordinary person. Does this mean that they actually caught something from the afterlife? The following video is showing heavy police presence around Bayside Marketplace in Miami on New Year's Day, and it made many speculate that something unnatural was unfolding this night. Police stated that they were there to dissolve a large fight that broke out between a group of about 50 teenagers, which resulted in multiple arrests. Yet some people had their own theories and posted on social media days after the incident, suggesting what really was going on. Some people at the scene believe that aliens had taken a visit to the mall, which caused this extreme police activity. Of course, the Miami Police Department tried to play the theories down, stating that there were no aliens, but some bystanders believed that they in fact saw an 8 to 10 foot alien walking right through the scene. Some other users on X pointed out it is likely to be just 2 or 3 people walking next to each other, which is possible, but most people find it a bit suspicious that such a large amount of police vehicles would show up for just a simple teenage brawl. One of the people at site had the following to say.
We look back and we noticed some weird shapes taller than me. I'm 6'2", shadowy, dark, solid shapes, not human. I promise you, these is not human. I mean, it made the hair stand up on my skin. And just booked it for the doors after that, man. I can't explain what that was. I can't say that was aliens, but I can say that was not human. It was not human. And they online, I don't know if they're trying to cover this stuff up, but they saying that it was police officers and somebody, not shadowy figures. It's 2024, man. It's something going on. There's something going on and they trying to cover it up.
So it appears that it is up to us now to decide if these events show us some form of otherworldly activity, or if this, in fact, was all just caused by a rowdy group of teenagers. Many believe that there's more to the story than what police wants us to believe, and I agree. This video was uploaded by the channel Paranormal Explorers, and they visited the supposedly haunted Hill House Farm to conduct a paranormal investigation. The channel owner states, "Looking through the English Heritage Historic Buildings listing page, I came across an entry for a 17th to 18th century gate pier at Link House Farm in Blythe. I wasn't aware of this gate pier, even though I must have passed it dozens of times. To be fair, it is not easily visible from the road. Link House Farm is something of an oddity, being a derelict range of farm buildings surrounding the modern beach leisure facilities. Now, let's see what they could come up with this night."
I hear a scream up here. Yeah. Careful with the frosting. I'm not going any further than here. Alright. close. In there. It's proper bad. There's loads of stuff left. I've got such a bad feeling standing here, mate. Yeah, proper. Look at that burner.
At this point, they capture something that they believe could be of paranormal nature.
Rascals, yeah.
What do you think? Is it maybe just a bug? But they captured more than that. At this point they decided to venture even deeper into this building. And it is here where a possible shadow is rocking right in front of their camera.
Is anyone in the attic?
Is anyone here right now? Wants to communicate? Space radar. But is anyone there who wants to come?
Did you see that? Let's look at that again. I have captured a shadow figure like that myself in the lamb house when I was checking out the bedroom upstairs, so I definitely think that this could be a legit capture. What is your opinion? Could it be something else? This clip was uploaded by FrostmareTV, and it certainly is very strange. It seems to have been taken from a CCTV in some sort of gravel yard or maybe a construction site. The CCTV picks up a bizarre shadow figure that appears to be floating through the yard. If you look closely, you can make out what appears to be a head and even two arms. It also seems that some dogs in the area have noticed the figure as well. They look to be running and barking towards whatever it is that is floating through. Things get even stranger though as it moves up towards the road. It seems to become more and more human-like. This is definitely a very mysterious video. What could possibly explain this odd capture? Do you think this is truly a ghostly spirit caught on the CCTV? This footage was captured by security officers who were securing parts of an old mental hospital that was used for filming at the time. According to the video's description, the staff could hear some really eerie and unprecedented noises during the whole day. However, it wasn't until security reviewed the recordings sometime later that they realized they might have captured a ghost on their camera. We see an empty hallway, then there's a translucent figure that appears out of nowhere and walks through the picture. It all looks like a strange blurry object at first, but it is without a doubt that it must be a transparent person. The spirit walks further across the hallway and disappears through a doorway. just as several crew members come into view. None of them noticed the creepy apparition, but it made this day so much more eerie. Most people believe that we can see the ghost of a former patient here. Could that be possible? If not, how else do we explain this sighting? Guess we will never know for sure. The next clip was uploaded to Reddit by user Hachi4496. He and his family have lived in this house for a while, however only recently started feeling a strange presence in their home. It started out subtle, just the feeling someone is watching you or thinking you see someone out of the corner of your eye. But soon it escalated. They started hearing footsteps and items banging around the house, doors closing on their own, and even speaking coming from rooms where nobody was inside. They decided to try setting up a few cameras to see if they could catch maybe an object falling on its own or a door slamming. What they caught was even more frightening. A black figure very quickly makes its way across the kitchen. If you look closely, it even appears to leave a black fog behind for a brief moment. The entity even seems to crouch down, avoiding the camera when it comes into view. While some viewers say this could simply be a bug, others are saying the way the shadow seems to intentionally avoid the camera, paired with the strange shadow and extreme speed, makes it look very different than other clips of insects on lenses. The shadow creature could possibly be responsible for the paranormal events. Or is this all a coincidence? Let me know your thoughts about it. While they were attending a history tour, this young man could record an eerie shape of a woman in the hallway. What do you think? It's hard to believe that this is a visitor. Maybe an employee. Or something paranormal. The following clip is as strange as it is creepy. It was also captured by a couple who was driving through a rural area in their hometown. It is unknown if this area is notorious for any kind of ghost activity, but the next encounter made the two really question reality. They state that they were just driving along the road, then taking a left turn, and then a person appeared right out of nowhere. Of course, they were pretty freaked out and got out of the car immediately to check on the woman, but to their surprise, there was nobody there. A shadow hand seems to be moving in a downwards motion towards the windshield from the top of their car. Of course, it was impossible that anybody was on top of it after they took off again, so they suspect that this must have been a scary spirit encounter, and they state that they avoided this part of town for a long time after seeing this. Understandable and spooky. The following is a video that was uploaded by two urban explorers from Russia who state that they had come across a mysterious creature that night. They were venturing through an old tunnel system that led into a building which was right next to a bunker. They didn't know much about it and investigated it by pure chance. However, they discovered something in one of the rooms that caused them to probably never set foot into one of these again.
Ты видел, что там, блядь, было-то? И что? А ты сзади видел, что? Что это было? Ты видел провода? Охереть. Это что было? Зачем мы сюда пошли, скажи мне? Просто зачем мы сюда пошли? Так, идем. Я же говорю, сразу туда идти надо. Это что? Охуеть!
Many comments state that this could in fact be another rake encounter. People do think that this does look pretty similar to it, but of course these are just speculations. Could it perhaps just be a creepy person that was scaring these two explorers? Or was it a hoax after all? Let me hear what you guys think. The following video was captured by a security officer who just started at a new location. He was patrolling the floors of an old college building, which has been said to be haunted for many decades. Apparently, a student was found in one of the dorm rooms who decided to leave this world several years ago, and people swear that sometimes they can see his spirit roaming the hallways. Before encountering something rather terrifying, we see and hear our guard patrolling in which is what I assume his natural habitat. All of a sudden, we see a shadowy figure disappearing behind the wall. And the man is seemingly in shock. He never found out what exactly this thing was. Perhaps the spirit of the deceased student. Spooky for sure. The following video was captured by guard Francisco Hernandez, who was finishing his shift when he heard a mysterious noise coming from one of the airplanes. He states that this is part of airline protocol, since they experienced a break-in some months back. As the man shines his torch down the aisle, a shadowy figure appears around the corner.
Verga. ¿Qué fue eso? No mames. Verga. No mames.
Trembling in fear, we see him exiting the airplane as fast as he can, and it is said that he clocked off only minutes later. What could our guard have captured here exactly? A shadowy figure that was looming around in the airplane? How eerie. But there was another incident that took place at this airport. A colleague of his noticed ghostly passengers that apparently were stepping off an airplane from the afterlife. And we see them going through a tunnel that is not attached to any physical airplane, which makes even more people believe that ghosts and spirits are a common sight here. Are these passengers that lost their life on one of these flights? Passengers of a plane that never arrived at its destination? A terrifying thought. And now we want to take a look at some updates that have been posted by Kitty K38, who's living in a haunted house with her family. Just to refresh your memory, for whatever reason, there seems to be an entity which is regularly tampering with items in their basement, for example.
Guys, sticks are on the ground. That's oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm going upstairs. Oh no.
This night, their stationary security camera that they have put up in the basement captured some really odd activity. There's many things going on, so take a really good look. In particular, there seems to be a dark hovering shadow in the top left corner. It appears moments before the picture is being thrown to the ground. Some speculate that this could be the entity responsible for all the mischief. Also, take note of the light anomaly here. Could it be the spirit making its way towards the corner? The following night at around 1:36 AM, the camera notices some motion right next to the camera, and the sensor makes it rotate towards the candle. The candle that used to be off, but now it is lit. How weird. Who would leave a candle on in the midst of night? Kitty states that it was certainly no family member. And then there's another terrifying clip that Kitty has shared. In it, we possibly can see the dark entity peeking out from the laundry room after making one of Kitty's African masks fall off the wall. Is it the evil spirit? We can't be certain here, but we will keep an eye on the further developments. Of course, we know that there's a lot of accidents occurring on our roads on the daily. These accidents, which very likely turn those places into areas of negative energy, claim the lives of dozens of people week after week. The following footage was taken on a toll road and recorded on a dash camera. Apparently, the driver caught something quite terrifying on his nightly drive. On the right side of the screen we can see a translucent figure standing right on the shoulder of that road. The uploader of the recording mentioned that they did notice that person, but that their appearance looked pretty off. A grey skin tone and unnatural stance. And they joked that it might have been a ghost at the time. Upon reviewing the footage, they noticed that even the rear camera had picked that figure up. And it was just standing there. Many people agree that it does not look like an ordinary person. Rather, it appears to be of paranormal nature. But what do you think? Do you believe it's just a regular person? Or perhaps the spirit of someone who lost their life on this road? Or what other explanation could there be? This clip was apparently captured in Poland by a woman who recorded this unusual dark object hovering in the sky right above her. She parked her car immediately, pulled out her phone and started recording. At first she wasn't sure if this was perhaps just a strange bird.
What is that? It's just floating in the sky. This is some crazy stuff. What is going on? Weird? Oh my gosh.
The woman states that this thing kept floating in the sky for a while until it mysteriously vanished. It reminds me a bit of the weird Dark Knight satellite images and videos that surfaced a few years back. And I'm really not sure if this was just an animal or something otherworldly. What do you think? And then there was another strange incident that was documented by a man in Oregon this past November. The same sighting had been reported by different people around the world, and they all speak of the same mysterious illuminated objects that are moving independently and leaving glowing trails in the sky, excluding drones as possible cause for this particular phenomenon. At first we can see two floating lights, when out of nowhere a third one appears. The man recording is pretty certain that this also was the doing of an extraterrestrial life form. But if that's not the case, what else could it be? I'm lost of words here. This video was shared by Night Ghost House. and we can see a man who was venturing to the haunted Drakelow tunnels in Kidderminster. He was hoping to make contact with one of the lost souls that might still be roaming inside these old tunnels. Equipped with a spirit box, he started to talk to them.
Are you stuck here?
Is it possible that a spirit was manifesting right in front of his ghost box? The man certainly believes that we are seeing the face of a spirit here. And mixed with the response we got, maybe this is the case. How eerie. The following clip was shared by the profile of The Unanswered Universe. It is said in the description that the following event unfolded as part of a creepy video diary, and the story goes that the man filming that night might have captured a terrifying shadow being manifesting right in front of him. Shortly after moving in, the man started to have really unsettling nightmares, and his partner told him that he had even started sleepwalking. How eerie. It didn't take long until the activity got even stronger and more spooky. Shadows started to show themselves ever so often in the man's home, and even poltergeist activity was witnessed every other evening. The uploader even claims that the man recording started to hear voices when nobody else was home. Then, one night, he could capture the following right in front of his home. It would appear that this shadow thing is manifesting out of thin air. It then twists and moves in a really awkward fashion. That's why many believe this thing to not be human. Maybe not even a ghost. Might the man have been contacted by demonic entities? Pretty nightmarish to think about that, isn't it? I guess we will never know for sure. The following has been forwarded to me by Andrew, and it was captured by a stationary camera, which was placed in a very old family residence. It is said that the house is known for its many strange ghost encounters over the past 30 years. This was captured one afternoon, when the home was empty. An enlightened silhouette can be seen walking into the living room from the right, and then vanishing. Hard to say if we are seeing one of the ghosts here, which are said to still roam this old building, or if it was just smoke and mirrors. This is a video shared by Raul Ramirez. It was captured by a staff member of a restaurant, who was the last person remaining in the kitchen that night to finish some cleaning. Raul states that several employees swear to have seen shadows in there that just stand in the corner for a moment and then are mysteriously gone. The man recording, though, had seen something in the corner of his eyes, which is why he started the video initially. Could he capture a shadow person here? He certainly thinks so. Or is this just something else that was placed in the corner there? It certainly wasn't there before though, so what do you think?